Hello everyone, so this is Dr. Swapna and welcome back to our next video on strategic human resource management. Today let us look about how traditional HRM and SHRM differs. So going upon to our next line, see here this particular officer speaks that people are our second most important asset. So the boss asks, at our first money, I suppose. So can you guys guess whether this is strategic HRM or traditional HRM? So undoubtedly this was the concept or the objective of traditional HRM. So later on, due to the change, this force of change, forced from traditional HRM to strategic human resource HRM. So what is that HRM? So the term HRM as expands human resource management. It implies the implementation of management principles for managing the workforce of an organization. So it is mostly concerned with the process of hiring, developing and retaining the manpower with a view to making them most and more efficient. Whereas SHRM is the process of aligning the business strategy with the company's human resource practices so as to attain strategic goals of an organization. So in SHRM, the workforce of the company is managed proactively and this shows that the change has been forced to move upon from traditional to strategic HRM in order to improve business performance through, of course, strategic HRM, because it always thinks on a long run. So however, let us look at the differentiation chart, the comparison chart. So what is the meaning of HRM? Starting from the meaning of HRM, human resource management implies the governance of manpower of the organization in a thorough and structured manner, whereas SHRM is the managerial function which implies framing of HR strategies in such a way to direct employees' efforts towards the goal of the organization. Physics. So sorry about that. Then in continuation, then the process of HRM is reactive in nature. On the other hand, SHRM is proactive management function. In human resource management, the responsibility of manpower lies with the staff specialist, whereas in strategic human resource management, the task of managing the workforce is vested in the line managers. So going upon to the next one, HRM follows fragmented approach which stresses on applying management principles while managing people in an organization. As against this, SHRM follows an integrated approach which involves lining up of business strategy with the company's HR practices. So the next one says HRM emphasizes on employee relations, ensuring employees' motivation, and also the firm conforms to the necessary employment laws. Conversely, SHRM focuses on a partnership with internal and external constituent groups. So going upon to the next one, HRM supports HRM supports short-term business goals and outcomes, but SHRM supports long-term goals and results of business. So in HRM, the human resource manager plays a role of change follower, that is, he or she responds to change, hence pursues transactional leadership style. As opposed to SHRM, the human resource manager is a change leader, that is an imitator, thus seeks transformational leadership. Okay, going upon to the next one, the primary element in HRM is the capital and products, but People and their knowledge are the building blocks of SHRM. If we talk about accountability, a conventional HRM is a cost center, unlike a strategic HRM, which is an investment center. So, just to conclude, see, with all this explanation, probably it might be clear that HRM differs from SHRM in number of ways. In human resource management, the division of labor, specialization can be found in the job design, whereas in SHRM, flexibility, cross training, and teams can be found in the job design. So these things will be again further looking into in our next sessions. So next, let's look upon barriers to SHRM. This is one of the very important aspects from exam point of view. So barriers to successful implementation of SHRM is not a simple task. It is much complex. So one of the main reasons is lack of growth strategy or failure to implement one. Very often SHRM does not think strategically and he cannot think it to due in capability. So this type of inability may raise to many reasons as lack of technical knowledge, insufficient training, and such like many more. So there are other barriers which are summarized as follows. So going on upon the next slide. So inducing the vision and mission for the change effort, then high resistance due to lack of cooperation from the bottom line. So this may be resisted because of the incentives for change that might arise. Then the change implemented demand some incentives for efforts to execute the change program. So if these incentives are not being reasonable, so they may create again barriers to SHRM. Then interdependent conflict, the commitment of entire senior management team, then plans that integrate internal resource with external requirements, then limited time, money and other resources as well. Then moving upon, here we can see fear of incompetency of senior level managers to take strategic steps. So many times this creates a kind of insecurity among them. Then diverse workforce with competitive skill sets, then fear towards victimization in the wake of failures, then improper strategic assignments and leadership conflicts over authority, ramifications for power relations. Always there are politics down everywhere. Presence of an active labor union. Yes, labor unions always create the barriers to implement many policies and rules. The rapid structural changes, economic and market pressure influence the adoption of strategic HRM. Then there are more diverse outward looking approaches. Yes, there are always many different approaches. So one of the next important topic is HR role in strategic planning. So the strategic plan is not the operating plan, which is from 6 to 18 months or so. So the strategic plan is a vision for the organization for following several years, so at least from 2 to 5 years. So the strategic plan sets the priorities for the top management and HR role in a proper strategic planning in the areas of HR management. So the HR professionals have to be part of strategic planning as employees will execute the strategic mission of the organization. So before we proceed, first let us actually clearly look into what exactly is strategic planning. So strategic planning is the process of identifying an organization's long-term goals and objectives and then determining the best ways to achieve them. The overall goal of strategic planning is to achieve competitive advantage Yes, this is only in private sector, or efficiency and excellence in public sector or non-profit organization through comprehensive long-range planning. So strategic planning has been characterized as a process that provides a roadmap for managing continuous change and securing an enduring future for an organization. Determines where an organization is going, so all organizational efforts can be pointed in that direction. Involves long-term planning for periods generally ranging from 3 years up to 2 decades. Involves major decisions, long-term commitments, and a large number of resources. Avoids costly and disruptive surprises that prevent goals from being achieved, and deals with issues in a timeliner fashions to avoid crisis. So why do you think we need this strategic planning? So there are some benefits which it gives when we adopt this strategic planning. So some of them are, I'm telling you, these are only few which I have listed. So it providing a sense of ownership at all levels of the organization. Then it provides a sense of direction that positively affects how work gets done. Then improves communication and relations between labor and management. Then helps in eliminating disruptions. Then keeps employees focused on the objectives at hand. Then provides guidance for future training and development initiatives. So going upon to the next one, this is one of the very important aspects from exam point of view, the HR role in strategic planning. So hence the HR role is to take full responsibility for the alignment of employees' skills and competencies with the strategic plan. First, HR has to demonstrate that it is the respectful business partner for the strategic planning. HR has to take the full responsibility for connecting people, ideas, and tools together. It has to demonstrate that it can lead the development of the HR part of the strategic plan. Secondly, HR has to demonstrate that it understands the business of the organization. Then becoming the partner in strategic planning requires understanding to basic financial indicators. So it also requires detailed knowledge about the products and the competitors present on the market. The HR role is in bringing ideas for innovations and new product development. It does not require deep technical skills, but it requires an open mind and being creative. So going upon the next one, HR has to prove its understanding to modern HR management trends. The competitive organization needs state-of-art human resources in the house. HR cannot be a passive function in the organization. It has to monitor market for new trends. It has to develop new approaches, and it has to innovate the traditional approaches. HR cannot follow HR best practices. It has to set the best practices for the industry. The traditional HR has no value added, such as HR functions is not invited to the process of strategic planning. So the role of HR is in designing innovative approaches which help to reach the current imperatives from the strategic plan. Moving upon to the next one, HR has to determine the art of connecting the strategic plan with actual business or the real business. So the strategic plan does not describe details. The strategic plan does describe strategic directions of the organization. HR has to understand these directions and has to translate them into right initiatives and steps. No one will translate directions for HR, but HR will be evaluated against directions, not the initiatives. HR has to get buy-in of the top management for initiatives as they are not clearly described in the strategic plan. The role of HR is the right translation and sticking to the implementation of the plan. Moving upon to the next one. HR has to demonstrate it can overcome obstacles. No strategic plan is implemented easily. Many issues arise during the implementation. Many discussions are held. Many decisions are called. HR has to stay on the way and it has to implement initiatives that are right for the future of the company or the organization. So the HR role is in building the strategic alliances with other employees and managers to push the solution forward. Many employees are skeptical about the proposed solution for the future. So HR has to lead the communication. So it is very important that HR has to lead the communication and it has to act as the change agent. So it must easier if HR is a part of the strategic plan development. So he will also act as a change agent. So to conclude, by playing a strong HR role, the position will start to change quickly. The HR has to be a part of the strategic planning. The HR role is in bringing right initiatives to make the human capital competitive and innovative. So thank you all for watching my video. I hope it was helpful. Thank you and see you in the next session. Have a wonderful day ahead.